I brought my mouth.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Kennedy.
Here.
Mr. DeVore.
Here.
Mr. Elmers.
Here. Jason's on the phone, I think. Is he still there?
Jason?
I'm on the phone.
Okay.
Alright, Mr. Vanderhook.
Here.
There you go. Any additions or subtractions to today's agenda?
I just got that carpet bid that I sent out yesterday, but I think we can put that under other courthouse for the VA office and stuff, so I think we're
Take a
good.
motion.
Make motion. Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I wasn't here, March Cost, so minutes look good, everybody.
I'd make a motion, we accept the minutes. Support.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. April schedule.
I think all, the only we need is the 9th and the 23rd is really all we need to meet. We'll have our budget passed on the 23rd, so.
There's no special state meeting we have to have a public hearing for.
Well, we have to have another public hearing, but we can do that on April 23rd to approve the budget.
Okay.
So we don't need to have another special meeting unless you guys want one.
The budget has to be done on the ninth.
Oh, yep, so we'll have to add that to the
So
agenda.
9th and 23rd.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll support that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consider discount on ambulance bill.
So last week, we had a gentleman from Ocheaton call the auditor's office referencing his ambulance bill. He is a self-paid, so he was calling the hospital, which is how he found out that he even had an ambulance bill. Am I saying that right, Rochelle?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the hospital gave him a discount for being self-paid, and he was hoping that the Board of Supervisors would give him a discount for being self-paid. His bill is $928.
What percent of the hospital knock off?
They told me 50. He
yeah,
told me
that's what
50%.
too, was 50.
And the doctors, he said, took off 30%, is what he told me. I mean, the hospital, if you pay within a month, you get 20% discount
Yeah.
if you pay within the month's time, but, I mean, that's what, I don't have proof of that, that's just what he told me.
No,
so.
that's what he told me too. It's the same thing. So we have to bring it in front of the board to see what you guys think. And we call him back and let him know.
I guess I can understand where he thought that it was part of the hospital bill. I can understand that.
Well, if we direct billed the hospital, we wouldn't have to deal with these bills.
Yeah. I could see doing 25%. How many people self-pay?
How many?
What percentage of,
Gosh, I mean,
you know, we gotta
there's
set a precedent?
probably, I would have to say at least 35, 40.
Self-paying.
Well, yeah, because we have a lot of people out there that do not have insurance, so they fall
realize
under
that.
that self-paid category. So, yeah, and then you don't get any money at all. So,
Sandy, when we get insurance payments, is there a discount or something they take off that we could
Some-
consider for self-pay?
Well, Medicare pays 65% of your bill. And then the rest is written off. So probably, you know, if it's just a regular ambulance bill, nothing, you know, we didn't do anything crazy, probably writing off about $198. But yeah, 65%, but if you have like Blue Cross Blue Shield, usually and you have met your deductible, they pay the full amount. Very, but I can't tell you, like, you know, if you're looking for 10% or 15%, I can't tell you how much that is. The other regular insurance, like if you have Humana or.
Have we ever done something like this before?
Actually not. What we have had before is what we've always had them fill out a hardship form, which is what I offered him. And he said, I don't need a hardship form. I'll pay the bill. I just want to know if I can have a discount if I pay cash. And he was willing to pay that day that he had called Rochelle and so it's weird, but I've never heard of it. I mean, this is the first time I've had this done.
I don't remember this happening, anybody asking before, to be honest with you.
No, never.
So he was just
It's a stumper.
trying to make a deal if he could get one. So.
Yeah, I know. Put 3 dots on the board, and whatever dot he picks, that's the percentage he gets. I don't know. So I'm not for sure what would be like 25%
That'd be 232.
off the 928. I don't know. But,
I'm the first one to say let's make a deal, but I'm not sure we're in that position to let's make a deal. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'll go along with most anything. It's
what you thinking?
no, I'll go along with most anything.
What do you think, Adrian?
I was thinking more along like 10 to 15% for paying cash. And your dentist will give you a 10% discount for paying cash. Some doctor's offices will give you a discount.
I know the hospital gives 20% if you pay within 30 days or something like that.
Since we're a not-for-profit service, I don't know how that works for. What do you think, Leroy?
Yeah, go along with whatever you think is fair here, 20% probably.
Now we go.
What about Jason?
What do you think, Jason?
I'd be curious to hear the director's recommendation, but we're not really factoring a profit margin in this, so I don't see room for discounts, really.
I would agree with Jason.
Here's a copy of all the names and how it looks.
Are we opening ourselves up to other things besides ambulance if we do cash discount?
Yeah.
I'll make a
That was there, I think that'd be my concern too, is if one insurance is paying 100% sees that you take less elsewhere, they'll, oh, then we're not giving that either. Then you're across the board, I see being a concern.
I'll make a motion, we make no discount.
I'll offer support to that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Yeah, I was stumped. I had this.
Before Sandy leaves.
We've had people fill out hardship forms.
Yeah.
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 Like Jason said, we're not a for-profit business and we don't have that kind of margin worked into our billing, so.
We don't have them deep pockets.
Before Sandy, just a minute. I asked her yesterday if Dee goes from Melvin, Ochean to check the ambulances to take the county car. I got in it the other day and it hadn't been run over 4 months. And it was deader than,
It didn't start.
no. So maybe if it gets run once a month.
Might want to get a battery tender on that thing.
Well, if we run it once a month, I think we'll be fine.
She just serviced it.
See, how old is the battery in that thing?
It's not that old, it's only like a couple years old. But sits that long, it's gonna drain down.
You think just getting it out and running
Yeah.
it?
See how that works.
Okay. We can do that.
I was kind of frustrated when I got there and the most I get was a click.
Didn't bring jumper cables.
No.
Thanks, Sandy.
You bet. You bet. Thank you.
Consider, that shouldn't take that long. Consider approving the new union contract.
This is when you sent us, right?
Yep. I think it's what you guys agreed upon.
I would make a motion to accept the agreement between the.
I'll support that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright,
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I know.
It's 9:15. Next item on the agenda is concerns of relocating World War I monument.
Okay. Thank you, Board of Supervisors, for letting me speak this morning. I know I'm wasting my time, but I came anyway. I would like to address the phone call I received from Ed Jones regarding the relocation of the World War I monument. This all started when I asked to be put on the agenda to express my concerns of the relocation of the monument. I received a phone call on March 15th from Ed Jones regarding the matter. I was confused from, I lost my spot. From Ed Jones regarding the matter. I'm confused to why Ed Jones felt the need to call me after asked to be put on the agenda to express my concern. This phone call is about 30 minutes long, which I felt Mr. Jones bullied me into expressing my opinion. He stated that having to rehouse the prisoners will be an expense, and do you want to pay this expense? And I did hear his words, and I did hear his tone of his voice. Mr. Jones stated that railings have moved other monuments in Sioux City. I don't know what this has to do with this monument. I personally have had people ask me why I'm not doing anything about the matter, as I'm a veteran and a Veterans Affairs Commissioner. My biggest concern with the moving of the monument is getting damaged. This was erected in 1919 and has hundreds of names that represent so much of us veterans and their family. And also, if it's moved, will it look as nice and inviting as it does now? And I have a copy for you to look at, and thank you. I only have two. Well, I give Doug one copy.
We can run a copy for you after that. I'm sure if it's moved, I'm sure it'd be fixed. I mean, it'll look just the way it is. It'd look the way it is, it does now. I'm pretty sure of that.
You're pretty sure.
Yep.
But you aren't sure.
We'd have to make sure.
Yes.
So, you know, it'd be nice if we could move it over next to World War II one, because if people are visiting that, then they'd also be able to visit the
Well,
other
they
one.
also visit the one in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to match what it is historically, you know, so we could,
Because, you know, how, it's 100 years old.
we don't wanna just delete it.
I mean, and it represents families that have been here and fought in that war, and the names are all on here. But, you know, I don't know, if you look at that, turn around, like, the picture of it, how nice that looks
Yes.
like that. I mean, that is a nice picture, and makes our courthouse look nice.
And what we wanna do is copy that, you know, with the new concrete and everything else, if it was relocated.
Do you know, where are you gonna put it?
They're talking about out front, next to the other one,
What do you mean,
Out on the east side.
out on the east side there.
just down from the vendor?
Yeah.
Yeah, just across.
Do you have a spot, if we move it, you'd like to see it?
I haven't looked.
This was just a rough sketch with the art.
I say to pass it down.
So this would be east side over here, there's the current one, and then they wanna put this one over here, right across from it.
Oh, so it'd be this way.
Yes, that's correct. It's just one proposed location, architect, it's not.
I guess I'm not sure, because I haven't really looked at it, and I didn't expect to be doing any of this. But Mr. Jones made me so mad, and I was gonna even not speak, because he made me mad and felt like I didn't have nothing to say. But
Let me just correct you on a couple things there.
you correct me on your one.
Why'd
Why'd you even call me?
Well, as the chair, I got your complaint,
Oh, yeah, I thought, yeah.
so I called to address your concern. I didn't know that you were on the agenda because I was out of town. So I apologize if you took my conversation with you in whatever way you took it.
Well, I took it
But-
as you.
I was just explaining to you why it was good and
But
located where it was.
I don't felt that was proper to address me with the rehousing the prisoners and all this.
You can have this one.
I was explaining to you what the rationale was for why the board decided to relocate it where we located it. And the cost involved with everything, so you understood why we were moving it. We weren't just moving it to move it.
I did not appreciate your call. It wasn't, I don't feel it was necessary. Do you call everybody before they come in?
If they wanna talk about it, yeah, I do.
Now, you did all the talking.
You just,
Well, go
I'm
ahead.
just trying to be open with the people of the public.
Anyway, that's my,
I don't think any of us had any intentions of offending anybody on this deal. If you guys have we're kind of in a rock and a hard place. We've caught flack of putting the building out here the way we talked to, so that's the reason we went. In fact, it was my idea to come over here. But, we had no intentions of offending any, but like I say, we're in a rock and a hard place, and we would like to include the veterans. If we move it, we'll put it wherever you guys feel is the best fit. Am I in
Yeah,
agreement?
and then
Yeah.
if we wanna have some input, during construction, we get
If
together.
you'd like something else added to it or whatever, I mean, we gotta keep our costs, but I mean, we'd like to have you involved. So you guys, the veterans.
okay.
I may be speaking out of turn here, but
No.
I think that would be nice. I think that if I can bring it to the legions, I will get a hold of all the commanders of the legions in all the county, in the county. I'll show up and be Cheatham, Meldon, Ashland, and Sibley, and talk to the commanders and explain to them really what's going on and how you want to do it.
And you'll have input, on, the concrete design and samples, we go over that. We're wanting to duplicate what's over there, that's for sure.
But our biggest, when you're messing around with the 1919 memorial, that cement hasn't been touched.
Yeah. I would have to go to Europe if it broke it.
But I think that's a good concern to be,
That's where you need to start though, is make sure the safety of the monuments.
because you look at some of them names, Ellabrook, Krugman, on and on, there's people probably related to you guys on there. When are you gonna actually have the plans? Are you talking about
We'll
that?
open a bid in June. So,
Okay.
we wouldn't want to move until summer, But I would want it moved prior to any earthwork or anything.
So will the
happening.
jail go up to where it is now?
It'll be over top of it, yes.
It's just not,
We tried to move it every which way we could to try to keep that spot. But even if it were outside of the jail, I didn't want it up against a new building. It would take away from the,
but it's gonna take away, cause you got that there, and the one in the middle, and the other one in the front of the building. It will take away from that.
I mean, we could put it on the opposite side of the sidewalk and keep it in that general area. You know,
But
get a
you
little
know
bit
what I'm
of,
saying, how it's
yeah,
even across and with the front of the, I don't have one, like the front of the courthouse.
yeah.
I should have brought more copies.
No, we can take a look. I mean, it doesn't have to, though, it's just an idea.
Okay. But you
Yeah,
understand what I,
it can stay on the west side, it's just on the opposite side of the sidewalk, that loop sidewalk. It just, instead of coming towards the, I call that the north, then we go to, put it on the south side of that sidewalk, which may keep your symmetry. It's up to, I mean, if we wanna take a look, I don't think the board is locked in any one place. And we're just, trying to find where we can do it and not destroy the effectiveness of it.
okay. Well, thank you.
We'll keep in touch probably and if you guys wanna talk to your people and
We have a commission meeting the second Tuesday in April, and Mike will be back from Florida. And then I'll have Buffy get it out to all the commanders, so when they meet, and we could meet, maybe get together, I'll get together with them and represent. Because nobody know I'm here today. Well, Mike did. I brought it up at the last commission meeting. Mike thought it was a good idea to come and voice about it.
Can I have a comment with it? Would be okay with you?
I don't care.
Of brainstorming this, I felt, when I first heard about it, there really wasn't options for us people. First of all, the Osceola County Sheriff's Department, the word Osceola, maybe we should build where it's in the jurisdiction of the county, a new one. If you look at advancement and change, 50 years from now, what do you think is going to be here? And think about the future. So maybe along the corridor of the 4-lane, south of town, where the sheriff can get on access to a road to get to someone quicker for safety. And doing things right. This here has got a lot of history, a lot of emotions. The old building out here is pretty cool. So with that, I felt that you as board supervisor should have looked at it a little broader, but maybe 2-3 ranges of options, and gave the people that respect. And I also think that we have public safety. We need to have a new building called the Constitutional Hall, We the People Hall, connected with the Sheriff's Department. And I think that would modernize for the younger people to be taught the Constitution of what we're really about. Because I think that's a better change. Like you guys took an oath, a verbal oath, to us. With respect, we have to sign everything. When we come in here, we have to sign. So with a signature, did you take a signature oath to defend the Constitution for public servant? You took a signature on a oath of certification of election. That's not the oath. So I question what's going on. That's my comment. Of public safety, So you're public servants for us people, supposedly. So is it a conflict of interest with the bar association being involved? Being someone a member? I think it could be. You know, in the past, Lucy all used to come here, the whole group of taxpayer association. Now you don't see them. Why is that, Ed?
I don't know.
Did you free them? The vote it free? Because we're gonna become free. I should have brought in that ballot.
Well, I want to thank the board for
So that's part of public
letting us
safety.
speak today.
Thanks, Winnie.
Thank you, Winnie.
On behalf of the board, I'd just like to say, we did look, we did discuss, but also the taxpayers said they didn't want us transporting people to the courthouse, and the sheriff needed to protect the courthouse. So the sheriff's administration needed to be put to the jail for managing the jail and to keep costs down as far as operational costs. And it got moved from the front to the back, but the voters did vote on this project to have it here. So to move it at this time would be kind of going against the taxpayers
Get a copy of
too.
that.
But I understand what you're saying, but those were taken into consideration during discussions with citizens and other committee members. I just want to say that we weren't just ignoring the public, nor was the board. It's something that we worked on together to determine what was the most feasible and the most cost effective for the taxpayers, because we didn't want to burden you with a bunch of taxes. I just want to make that comment so you realize it wasn't something that I or the board tried to shove down your throats. So when it got moved to here, that's where the complication came in, because the people thought the courthouse was, the front is no longer the front, used as a front as much as the north side is because of the elevator. So they didn't want to deplete from the look of the courthouse side. And that's why they moved to the west.
So with that in mind, when are they gonna need new courthouse? And where would you build that? So
Yeah, I understand that.
these were both put together in this location first time. So now you separate it. So in the big picture, maybe that's in the future gonna be a courthouse out there.
Yeah, I'm from Houghton, Iowa, so our population's 125, counting cattle and stuff, but I don't see, I've seen courthouses, I'm getting, out in age, and you think we're really gonna pass a $40 million bond to build another courthouse at this time, or in our near future? I just don't see that coming with the taxes that everybody's experiencing today, and changing of presidents or whatever. So, it will serve for the time period that it's designed for, I guess. And the one we have now is used to try to maintain its old house. If it ever caught fire, you can play hide get there and get out of there. So it was just a complicated deal, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're incorrect or anything and thinking forward, but at this point in time, we're trying to just keep the cost down. That's not what I would.
Well, with the Republic, I agree with that. We should have no tax increase. So there is a tax increase, we did a little bit of it. So you're doing it a little at a time. So maybe just do it a whole bunch at a time and knock these people out. And see how this works. Because you do a little at a time, over 10 years, it keeps adding up.
But it's easier for people to put it into their budget a little bit at a time instead of a whole bunch at a time.
And we minimize this project.
Yeah.
That's why we're reusing a portion of the project, because when it came up, the architect even suggested that we tear the old one down so we'd move it back. I said, there's no way. that we can go for more money or increase any budgets. I said, if anything, we need to maintain the budgets we got.
I guess the question I have is if you cater for the people going to jail, or you cater for the taxpayers on mileage? That's the question.
Well,
So you wanna build this for the people to make it safe for us in our constitution? Or you gotta build this for the criminals?
well, by holding the criminals, we also keeping the public safe. You can come home and your tractor's not missing out of your barn either.
So then we should teach the Constitution. Our schools. Did you take a constitutional, signed your oath? Are you bonded?
Well, the EOC.
I think
that's
I should
concerned-
ask that question. Are you bonded? Can you show the bond? Can you prove it?
Yeah, I think you get a
Can you
copy of
prove
that
your
from
oath?
Pearson.
Mm.
We do have a 9:30, so we better keep rolling.
Can you prove your oath?
You got a copy of that bond.
I think it's a fair question.
Yeah.
Are we under the Constitution here or not? Do you agree with it?
As far as the vote and bond, what are you doing?
The bond. Protect the Constitution. We fight for that. Our veterans have fought for that. We're supposed to ignore that. Do they have an oath to the Constitution?
This is the time for public comment, George. It's not a time for me to argue with you.
I'm not arguing.
Well,
I'm
it's
asking
not,
for it.
it's not a time for public discussion back and forth. The way that it works is that it's supposed to be a time for you to explain your comments, and you're free to make the statements that you make. I'm not here to argue or debate anything with you.
You want it to be a conflict. You want it to be an argument. That's what the bar does.
Like I said, it's not time for public arguments. It's time for you to make your comment. You're free to make your comment.
I made a comment. That's your question. I think it's a very important question.
Is that Ed trying to
He's,
find that bond?
we have it, he's making a copy of it. He's making a copy for you.
That'd be good.
All right, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to drop off the call now.
All right, see you, Jason.
Yep, bye.
I'm gonna have to zip out pretty soon too, so
Okay.
can I do the recorder? And
Okay.
then I'll hang up.
Okay.
You have to come back for the drainage.
Yes.
That's not how Dave's got his colonoscopy right now, so I have to go pick him up, so depending on how.
Oh, that's
soon he
okay.
needs
He's
to
gotta
release-
lay there for a little while and wait
Well,
now.
he had it at 8:30, so I was supposed to go in then, so he should be getting pretty close to being lucid. I was hoping this step would progress a little faster, so.
Me too.
You know Osceola County better than that.
Yeah. Well, especially the days I need it to be, the days that
Yeah.
I have all
Yeah.
morning, that you're done in like half an hour, so.
I thought that, what you said about moving it with it by that other monuments would be the place to put it, but,
I just figured if people were visiting one
Yeah,
monument,
I
it would
agree.
be right across.
and there's room for it.
And sometimes people might not even realize it's over there. I
That's right.
mean, you know, when it's spread that far apart.
Yeah. That's why I'd like to see it closer together, but I really don't care where we put it.
You know, but I understand wanting to keep
Yes.
the
Oh, yeah.
aesthetics of it.
Yeah.
That's, you know, we can match the aesthetics.
Yeah.
And do have to be careful moving. You're darn right, whoever's moving it, they better darn well be very careful of it. So, I mean, it's a matter of moving it prior to any construction too, before somebody
Yeah.
bumps it or something too, and then
Right.
all of a sudden, oh, why didn't we move it?
Yeah.
Sort of deal, so, it's one of the first things I'd like to get done.
Henry Ling's moved stuff like that before, hasn't he? From what I understand, he has.
Oh, yeah. You know, the arches in Sioux Falls?
Yeah.
He put them in.
Well, somebody moved it there to begin with, so.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't built there, so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's made to move, but.
I'm gonna move on to his. Can you
Yeah.
do that?
Let's go ahead and start with 9:30, the jail.
Okay.
Review possible approval of jail preliminary floor plan.
So, I just want to say, we have an opening, the engineers and architects have openings right now for this, but before I made any decision, and I know we had that conference call the other week, but I wanted to make sure where we're at, and I wanted to sit down with you. I mean, it's important that we get this right, you know, from the get-go. So I have a couple of options that we need to look at just to decide on the floor plan. So I'd just like to briefly go over them with you, and then we can decide.
You wanna sit up there, or?
I think I can lay one on the table in front of you, and we just talk about it.
I made a smaller copy of it, but I know they can't read it real well. Oh, that's a little bit bigger than what I could print.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the copy.
Okay.
This is totally different.
Okay, okay. This
Have
is
you
like
looked at
I
them,
can-
Kellen?
He's explaining to me, yeah, there's not that much difference in the original ones, but some of the stuff is, we won't.
Well, probably the questions we had was the jail remodel.
Yeah.
Is what we had.
Yeah. So originally, I'm really, on jail remodeling, what I want to do is, the only thing that we're wanting to do is that's critical is closing up this end here. And you'll see it in the other one. And just putting the evidence room, oh, here's the evidence room. It's just coming in, metal studding that, closing off that garage, and adding the auditor's storage space for
You still need that with your storage down here?
tax machines and
Yeah.
stuff.
But if I don't get it, we'll be fine.
So I'm really mainly focusing on the new jail portion, because what we'll do is I'll come to the board, we'll get estimates, come in here, determine what we want to do. I'd like to get the public restrooms done, but the main focus would be on the jail. So originally, we had the jail portion here. There's two maximum and 2 medium security cells on each side. It'll be expandable up in the future, higher to a second level. And then you have the 2 special status beds. Those are negative air pressure for airborne contaminants, so it's not, none of the air is recirculated through. But in the original one, we were looking at the future additions, but we were getting in some cost. So there is 2 future additions allowed out here in the, in the future that you could put in. This gives you 14 beds is all. So,
You'd never need more than that, would you?
Well, we got 9 in right now. Yeah, so have we been full and had them on the floors? Yeah, we've had that before. So I can't say it'll never happen, because couldn't you use some of those
yeah.
in the old jail, in the basement, or whatever you want to call it?
Oh, the holding cells?
No,
No.
no.
The sheriff, or the state jail inspector, no.
No?
No.
Okay.
That wouldn't be an option.
I
Because of the escape hazard. The thing is, in classifications, I want to make sure you're not shipping anybody out, but if you get a couple of females, say you get 3 females, and you put them in one of these pods, then you've lost 3 beds, because you can't put any males in there. So, I'm just, listing out options, and I have some estimates of costs, so that's the first option.
Is there any way you could split one of these?
Second option.
Split them?
Like put a wall in there? So that way, if you did have females, you could put them on one side, you'd still keep the other 2 beds.
Technically, they're supposed to be sight and sound separated, so.
But if you put a wall in there,
Well, that'd be a question for John.
Yeah. So the second option I'd like to recommend is we could shell this area out. We could put the exterior walls up. You're gonna have a wall coming down here anyways, but we could shell these areas out, put the exterior walls, because this ductwork in the future would connect to this. It'd be on one unit.
Why is there a wall that extends there anyway?
There's not, this is future.
No, but you said here there's gonna be a wall.
Oh, because you gotta have it, this wall extends, because you gotta have an exit out for fire. So that's
for
a
a hallway.
secure sally port, it's for a hallway to get into it in the future. But I have to have this door here for fire. What they do is they move them to here, surround them, and then move them out in case of a fire, but you and I know.
But that extra space isn't in on any figures.
No, and that's what I'm gonna give you those figures.
Okay.
So if we were to just shell it out and run the heating duct into there, I would anticipate that you'd probably be 150 a section to shell it out.
300,000.
Yeah. So the second option would be, the third option would be, is that we come in and we finish one of these areas. We shell it out and finish one of these areas. So to finish one of these areas, to finish this area completely, would be in the range of $250,000. And then 150 to shell the rest out.
if we finish this one, would we even have to shell that out?
Wouldn't necessarily, the reason I did this one is because it's so close to courthouse. I'm
Yeah.
not swinging precast near the courthouse, and then this could be finished here. And you wouldn't necessarily have to, but you'd be talking very minimal dollars to do that. So you'd be in the range of 350,000, and you could possibly even get that done. Right now, when we went over the estimates probable cost, that last meeting, we have, close to, 800,000 contingency. And I guess I'm looking at it, doesn't make sense to do it now. It'd be less costly to do it now, whereas we wouldn't be able to pass a bond in the future to probably get it done, nor would you have to, but then you're gonna go through the process again. So, and this would give you an extra section in case you ended up with females. We could either put them here, if we only had 2, but if we had 3, we could put them here and we're not losing as much space as the individual cells. And that would give you a total of 20 total cells.
And it's getting more and more for females too, isn't it? For us.
Well, that's what I talked to the sheriff about. I mean,
Unfortunately.
you have 4 or 5 of them, and we had that happen in our own county. I mean, we had those expansion areas up above, and the females started getting arrested because males were having to buy the precursors and that. But these are also, so in the future, if you did this, you could actually open up this drywall here, and you have an upper level there too. So you have expansion capabilities of 6, 12, 15 more in the future. So, you know, you're right. I mean, we don't have to do that, but there would be a minimal cost to do it. If nothing else, you can store stuff in there. I mean, but this ductwork is typically connected to this ductwork, and it'd be cheaper to do it. And I was just going through it in my mind, but it's up to you guys on what you want to do. I think we'd still have substantial funds to do what we wanted to do, and if you wanted to increase the bond amount, you'd have that option. But we want to make sure. I think we want to get that building down. Now I heard questions either way, and we wanted to get some parking out here for disabled people.
Yeah.
Within the budget, and then drive out this way. So there's some things, we need to sort through. But I wanted to just
I
get
was
your
gonna say,
blessing.
the bond amount is set in stone.
Yes.
I told him, I gave him the blessing to, it was $80
Is,
more.
is remodeling in the whole figure, or can we eliminate? I've never been for remodeling.
We're not
anyway.
gonna bid the remodeling at this time. We're gonna go out and try to get.
How much
local.
would that cost versus doing this?
Right now, we just have these 2 areas
Well, you
done.
said something about bathrooms though too, and they aren't cheap.
Yeah, they should be handicap accessible. So,
They
I
are,
mean,
aren't
I think that I didn't do a calculation, I think we're about 300,000, but we'd still, even if we increase this by 300, we'd have 4.6. We'd still have 600,000 up in that area to complete the rest of the project.
Those bathrooms in there now, they are handicap accessible, aren't they?
No, they don't have the turnaround radius, you gotta have a
Oh,
5-foot turnaround.
They're grandfathered in.
Yeah,
I mean, if I can't do the storage, that's fine. I don't wanna cost extras.
oh,
oh, no.
I mean, I would like it, but
that-
I don't wanna,
That,
don't break
that
the
to
budget
me
on it
is the
either.
cheapest.
Okay.
That's the cheapest area. All you really have is a door that I'm providing for you.
Okay, that's just,
that's plenty
I
for
thought it was
Rochelle.
300,000.
like, no, I don't want that.
No, right now,
I
we're
know,
looking
right?
at this evidence in an auditor storage area.
I don't wanna cause
And
undue
the
stress to the
armory here.
budget.
So just this section of the building, and it's just metal stud walls and driveway.
Okay, we're talking 150 here, 250 here.
About that extra,
What's the total?
adding more to it?
No, we'll still stay well under.
Explain that to Ed, what you
Yeah,
just
okay.
explained to us, he wasn't in here.
So, Ed originally, and you're, and I'm the original. So, I just wanted to figure options for us, so I could get the floor plan, because the engineers have an opening and the architects have an opening. I want to get this on the ballot by June, or, out the bid by June, because there's many people, Midwestern Mechanicals interested in the project, and there's people talking to me about the project. So originally, right now, minimal, we're just doing the evidence storage armory and this, and the audio storage. But originally, we had 14 beds. We had the maximum security and medium security areas, Ed. And remember, we had these future additions on
Yep.
there. So we have to build this wall anyways. So that's what we originally had. And then an option would, and that gives you 14 beds. So if and he's holding females, and I don't want to take any chance that we're going to ship any out or we'll catch black like crazy. One option would be to just shell these areas out. So we might be talking in a $200,000 range to shell them out. This ductwork's connected into this section. So if you did in the future, we'd have to go in that section and move the ductwork over. But we could connect it and just shell the building out if you wanted. So we'd be looking at about, probably 200,000 there.
200 or 300?
250, I would say.
You told me 3.
Yeah, I told you 200. I'd rather be high. Let me put it that way.
You negotiated for us.
Yeah. I'd rather be high.
I don't like spending money.
I understand that. The other option would be to come in and finish off this east general population, shell it all out and do the east general population, which would give you a total of 20 beds. This would be $250,000. And I figured you're gonna have this wall is gonna move out here. You're gonna maybe have another 150 total. So you're looking somewhere in the $350,000 range to do this and to shell it out. And we have $1 million worth of contingency shown in the last estimate with the bond set at what it is. So to get this, it's gonna be a hell of a lot less expensive to do it now than to try to do it in the future. And if I go up with this, so you would have upper level too. So you have expansion of 18 right here. But to go up with this is a lot more expensive because it's individual cells. This is a dorm area. So it's an open area for general population people, good people get in trouble once in a while too. And
So with the $500,000 you got figured in there, and then we're gonna have to, Ed and I don't think so, but do something with the old house, do something with parking.
that was in the estimate already.
What's the final figure? I wanna know what.
The final figure?
Yeah.
I said you'll still have 700,000 more contingency left. 500,000 to 600,000 contingency to do renovations and to cover any additional. Ed said he got a price that was substantially higher than mine. I've torn several down at $80,000. Ed thought it might be more closer to 120, but we have that in contingency.
Well, what's the final figure then? 4.6, 7, 8, 5,
4
6?
point, I would say it's gonna be right in the 4.8 to 5 range.
You guys see that?
I wish I could. Right now, the precast is only 4 to 6 months out. Before we were, 12 to 14 months out.
The cement's going through the roof.
It's 150 a yard, yeah. Well, it's not gonna get any cheaper either.
No,
So,
I've heard higher than that. I've heard 175.
I've heard up to 200 in some areas. Macokota is up to 200. Which is crazy, but.
Personally, I'd like to see the extra beds if we can keep it in the budget.
Yeah, and we're only talking 80-foot of wall to shell the rest in, and I just say, we can do them as alternates so that we can keep the cost down for you. Shell it and then show this finished as an alternate. In Jackson County, for instance, they didn't do the upper levels originally, and then they came back at the end of the project and wanted to do the upper levels, which has been.
Is it cheaper to go up or stay level?
I think it's cheaper to stay level here and have the future expansion upstairs. You have the ability to put this up on the second floor, yep, on each of these areas. So that's what I'm saying, you have expansion capability, another 18 beds in the future if you ever need them. God help us if we need that many beds, but at least we wouldn't have to build a new building. So I guess,
Kevin, your thoughts?
Well, like you guys, my idea is to keep this as cheap as possible. Right now, if you take for it, we got 9 people in right now. They're using up all of the cells, so if we get a lady in, we can't hold a lady right now. If we finished off that one section, the least we'd have a spot to put.
So what do you do with that lady now?
Right now, we'd probably ask her to, come in at a later date to see who or when they're getting out of the ones we have in there right now, or.
And what would it cost us to send her somewhere else, or can't you do that?
No, yeah, you can do that.
Well, yeah, we can do that. Figure $80 a day
and transportation.
and transportation costs.
The problem that we've experienced, that everybody's experiencing, is where do you go with them?
Mhm.
Sometimes you end up getting further and further away with these people. And if you get a problem child, nobody wants them, you know?
We got, Palo Alto, they were housing theirs, they were calling around counties and, they called us one weekend and said, hey, we got this individual that nobody wants because he's a pain in the ass. Will you guys take him?
No.
No. Yeah, so, yeah.
I would have said how much.
I mean, you can get as creative as you want with bond, but sometimes there's people you gotta hold and then you end up at the mercy of other counties.
Yeah. And right now, we should be getting a couple more maybe soon, I hope. But other than that, it's hard to say. Last year, I think, didn't we have at one time 4 or 5 women in?
Yeah, and there was one winter where there were 3 women in the same cell for an extended period of time.
Yeah, and so, yeah.
It's a no, what are your thoughts?
I just have little things I ask about. I mean, in terms of, you're talking about the broader picture, or are you talking about building the shell now as opposed to later?
I just shell it up now.
If you shell it out now, you'd be surprised.
If we got the money.
You'd be surprised how quickly you're going to fill that shell space once you have it.
I would agree with Keith. I think that it's easy to say, look at this bond we got, look at how much money it is, look at how deep we've gone, let's just get it done and be as budget friendly as possible. And I see the point in that. What I'm going to say is this is like a school. Eventually you're going to fill it. Eventually you're going to get into a situation where you say, what if we finish the shell and house federal inmates? What if we have, a situation where, there's a trend in crime that we haven't foreseen? First thing that I think of is fentanyl, right? That's the, oh boy, right? We're going to need to put more people in jail, fentanyl, all this, right? Could be the next crack epidemic like in the 80s. We don't know that, right? But there's something reality-based that in the future could necessitate us wanting to have those 4 more spots. Or, even like right now, we got 3 guys in the jail. They're all in there for a similar assault crime. I'm not going to talk details about it, but you have a big weekend where a couple people get into fights and all of a sudden you got 3, 4, 5 more males, maybe a couple females in there. It just becomes an organizational and numbers problem in a hurry. So if you got it in the budget with what we've appropriated via the bond to shell it out and to have that space to have another 4 or however many cells, I really support that. I really like the way this plan's developed. I think that it's a little different in terms of what we had when we were going to go to the east with it. I really like the east and medium max. That gives you options as it already is when you have male and female inmates. Special status cells are great too. Here's the reality. Governor's talking about we're going to do this, that, and the other thing with mental health. Well, here's the reality. That's just a good start. It's not going to fix our problems. We need cells like special status cells that are separate from everything else because we house mental health patients, basically, is the reality. So we need this stuff. It's actually really overdue. I'm a big fan of it. Obviously, the vehicular sally port and what we're going to do with that road out there, I don't know that there's any good answer. I think this is a good enough one. But I would, big picture, support you guys shelling out for the extra cells so that we have those options in the future.
Stay within budget.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
thinking.
can see shelling it up and then figuring out if we got any money left over to finish it off.
I think that's reasonable. Get it under roof, get it enclosed.
We bid that as an alternate too.
Yeah.
So we got I want to get prices, but more than that, I want to get the design done for you guys. through the architects and engineers.
Or-
It fits within the budget. When we bid the general population as, you know, the finish of it as an alternate to the project to protect the budget. That gives us the cost that we make it for, you know, a decision on.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna know where we're at then, after we get the bids in.
Or if the county attorney wants to make a donation, we can name one of these future editions after you.
I think that's hard too.
We'll get some more people out of that jail and sentence, and then we can see how deserving that would be of me.
The dorm area is gonna be the least expensive area built. When we added the upper levels, I think it was $86,000 to add, you know, just to finish up the upper levels.
So send out the floor plan then with the all shelled out and then have an alternate with that room finished off.
That's what I wanted to get to.
Sounds-
Because I want to push them along. If we can get this, you know, I'll be bringing 50% check set back to go over with everybody when we get the engineers and stuff, but they're chomping at the bit, and if I can tell them, well, here's your background, go.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to work with that gal on,
I'd like to see that finished up, but we'll see where the budget's at.
Like, he's gonna get a bid on both.
Yep.
yeah.
So we'll know whether we've
But
got
I'd
it
say
or not.
But I'd say enclose both of those.
Oh yeah, shell it out and
Yeah.
then send out the alternate bid for it.
If we shell it out and we get an alternate to do the one, we know if we can do the other too.
Yeah.
Because then if we do excellent on,
We can put Rochelle's stuff back in this corner.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. We can cut her.
I can,
We
yeah, you
cut
can
her.
cut
That's
me,
okay.
I'm good, I'm
You can
good.
move her office.
Hey, yeah.
That's crazy, you're talking about this millions of dollars project, and it always goes back to Rochelle.
I know, right? Get me out of here. Take me
She's
out
the one
of
with the big
she's the
checkbook.
cheapest.
here. Not even close.
She's the only one that doesn't scream when we say, no, you can't have it.
Did Jason have any
He's not on,
He's
he's
on
not on the phone anymore. Jazz
That's
Festival,
Mopsin.
his son
It's,
is included in
Janet's
that.
And do you know what the reasoning is for
I think
having
they wrap them up together. huh?
So do we get 5 weeks?
I don't think so.
Civil first, don't.
Maybe.
Kevin, do we get the keys?
That's his problem.
Hey, John, can they keep those plans?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
See, now, we don't want to post.
we'll just stick it in the
Yeah. We're gonna say such and such. Usually we'll know what the attorneys are, but
What?
then they pop.
And there's no fold marks
And
in
then
it.
get back out, but then you don't.
I like fold marks.
Here. And we're seeing
We'll
less
give it
and
to the
less
gals
video
in the office.
presentation anymore.
There you go.
Because you're going to iPads. And the iPads, they can do from their house.
Yep.
That's why we only put one of
Well,
them
you
and
know,
try to
if
keep
one
that
day we
space
ever get
minimized.
IT person, maybe
But
that
we don't like
person
them
can
hanging around
over
the
there
front of the
too,
building.
you know?
Because
Next
they
office,
say they're
if
waiting
we
to
ever go
visit
down that
somebody.
road
Then
eventually.
they're sitting out in front of your
I'm
building.
sure eventually we'll have to.
They're not the most.
Yeah, I got
You ready for more coffee, Leroy?
Yeah, I have them tucked away and they,
Mhm.
they're
Leroy.
staying here and it's minimizing the amount of time. I got you, okay.
John?
Right there.
No, that's control for the
That's
jail.
dispatch.
That's also dispatchers?
Yeah.
Oh,
Now, will the total figure be with our added on deals, possibly tearing the house down and relocating driveways or whatever?
I had building demolition
Yeah.
in here,
What about
and then I had,
driveways?
existing roof repairs, I had 65,000 for the existing roof repairs on that building, on the L shape. I don't have the driveways in there yet.
Yeah, it'd be big.
Yeah, I put recommended contingency.
Yeah.
Was 339, and that gave me a total of 5745.
Never take credit for something you can blame somebody else.
So if we spend 350 finishing off them areas, we're still gonna have, you know, giving ourselves some protection, a minimum of 500,000 to protect ourselves.
Okay, well, that
Would that make sense?
meeting.
So try to get everything, and this bonding attorney is probably higher. Probably only one,
No, we don't have enough guys to do that.
Yeah, I'd rather do it on the high side right now, and on the low
Probably
side.
all right.
That makes sense to you? You should have this document.
Yeah, I do someplace, I do.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes it's
Have an
nice to
exercise
do it this
room
way.
that maybe would be a little better suited or bigger.
Well,
No, I felt
but
comfortable,
also,
and, I
hey,
told
you
you
probably
that,
have to know.
that might well talk to
Right now, we run this down.
But that makes sense, to shell it out.
50 days.
Then we can, we can.
Another exercise.
We don't want to outside.
Lose it all.
Okay, well, thank
So
you.
we haven't seen anything like.
Beautiful weather out there.
Yeah, it kinda sucks, if you ask me.
So when we go to bid, then there'll be an ad to put in the paper and all that fun stuff and,
You don't have to put it in the paper anymore.
oh, okay, awesome.
Go through, Master Builders,
Okay,
and they publicize it in 2 different locations, or
Oh,
3 different
okay,
locations.
so I don't have to worry about any publications, or do
The
I?
reason they didn't, no, you don't, but we gotta get the resolutions put together, we'll have to coordinate that.
Okay,
With dollars and Koreans, we get closer.
okay,
We gotta get, I can send them to you just for reference,
Quit this and go to.
but we have to approve the plans and specifications and estimate of probable cost. And a couple other things with them.
gotcha, okay, just don't let me forget it, because
I
I'm in
will.
election mode.
No, okay,
A
no.
lot of 10-foot.
I usually try to work, aren't we working with dollars and Korean on this one?
The
I got
bond
some.
thing.
Yeah, we are.
Jason Kaminsky or
What? Jason, I think.
Jason Kaminsky?
Jason
This is your
certification
certification
of election,
election,
but
but doing the oral
This is kind of where we're at.
swearing in is good.
So keep us informed of what you do.
Okay.
Find me the oath and I'll sign it.
And that's, I forgot they're closed down. Drug dealing, operating illegally.
I'm a member of the bar now because my wife's a lawyer.
Oh, that is where he was getting at.
Yeah, I'm like,
Didn't catch that.
yeah. And since he's a
Thank
member
you,
of the bar,
Kevin.
he ain't
Thank you,
doing
guys.
shit either.
Oh, I was trying to figure that out.
Like, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, but my wife is.
Yeah, if you would.
Yeah.
Just
My wife did more
moving the
years
jail
all
would
the
cost
time.
more than $5 million.
And if anybody has any comments.
Moving the jail somewhere else would cost more than $5 million.
Then we've gotta have more employees.
Yeah, I mean, even if we would have put it in that steel stockpile at 60, like we went and looked at it, there's no way that that gets done as a certifiable jail for less than 3.5 or 4. Plus taking this down.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming up.
Yes.
You're gonna.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
I'm from Houghton, Iowa. It's 12 miles south of Mount Pleasant there.
I hope so, 'cause we have.
Small community.
All the roads are good.
It's Spirit Lake and down in Emmitsburg is snow covered and a little bit of ice covered.
You guys
You know, but if you're smart and you drive 35, 45 mile an hour just to get there, then
We need
you
to
should be okay. But the roads
Because
coming
every
at
dispatcher, they
9,
need access to files.
after I
And
pass
then the
Spirit Lake to
secretary
here,
sitting
we're
up here in the line,
fairly
lot,
clear, a lot
he
blowing
has
snow,
access to
but
files, so
there's nothing to
as
block
close
it
as
here.
possible
So,
to let them have-
Isn't that all ice
even though they
there?
need to get their-
yeah, there's no ice on the road yet, you know, it's pretty clear.
They're gonna get more steps than they do now, probably.
Yeah, because you got rain last night.
So are you guys gonna, what are you guys
So
gonna
do
do?
they have to approve anything today or anything, the board? They make a final motion or anything?
If they want to make a motion, that's fine too.
I don't know, I didn't know if it was necessary or not, or what we're supposed to do.
Make motions as we go forward, so,
Okay.
you know, when we get to the resolutions and stuff, then we'll have to make motions to approve the resolution,
Okay.
which then will approve the plans.
Okay, okay.
I just wanted to sit in front of everybody and be able to explain it because it's too hard over the phone sometimes to understand and talk everything over.
That it is.
Something gets exposed to something.
Yeah, I think in
The guy?
building had some sort of, it's not like that shower.
No,
just
Yeah, that you can put in the vehicle side part too.
one of those emergency shower things.
Yeah. Cause then you use it to clean off tires, and then if you had an inmate, you just put a powder washer in there and you can spray them down pretty quickly.
The jail place I was at, they had one of the evidence storage area, they had some emergency.
Oh, emergency, in case something blew up. I
Well,
usually
that
think-
or they get exposed to something, and
Yeah.
eye wash as well, so.
Yep.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Kevin.
If any of you have any questions, give me a.
Kevin's got all the answers.
Okay.
Right, Kevin?
Yeah.
You've got all the answers if we have questions.
No. I don't have all the answers.
But we can get them. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
See you, John.
Good to see y'all again. Next time, I hope it's warmer, so.
Yeah.
How I'm doing today?
Good, how are you?
Geez, didn't you shower this morning? Everybody left.
Everyone just,
How are the roads?
they weren't too bad for my side. Apparently, east side's.
You came from Sioux Falls,
Came from
right?
Sioux Falls. It was just pretty windy. A couple areas that were a little snow covered that got some protection, but the rest not horrible. So. I was texting Spencer today. He's in New Orleans, so he has a little bit better weather to deal with this area. He's like, you left just in time.
You did. We're all jealous.
Did you want me to call and put her on speaker?
I can do it. I was just, we're not quite to that meeting yet, so I thought we'd get to the meeting. I have his cell phone number, so I'll call him on the speakerphone, and if that works, and if it doesn't, we'll go to plan B.
The JDE3 is the next.
Yeah, I think they're gonna adjourn out of the regular meeting and go in, we're not through with the regular meeting yet, but they'll adjourn out of that and go into drainage 3, so you can get going on the road.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn the other one.
I'll support that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll get him on the phone, I'll just be here pretty soon, I would think.
Should we open the other meeting first? How long is that gonna be on?
I don't know where you went.
Gotta make a phone call. Okay. Approve March 26th agenda. Any changes?
I don't have any.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we've got a motion. Do we have support?
Support.